friends, students, faculty, and staff of Boston Arts Academy. It has been quite a year, and we are excited to share what our senior artists have accomplished during the pandemic, socially distant and masked. With so many challenges, we have continued to rise above and create amazing artwork. Today, you will view the work from our senior visual artists. The seniors created a series of images as a body of work in the medium of their choice that expresses a personal theme or concept. And now we present to you our senior visual artists.
Hello, my name is Jax Ramirez and I am a junior visual artist. The Boston Arts Academy Visual Arts and Design Department is very proud to showcase the work of this year's graduating seniors. As part of the senior portfolio class, they were given the opportunity to create bodies of work where they each produced a number of art pieces in the medium of their choice, representing themes that are personal to them. We know you will enjoy the following exhibition of their artwork, presented while each senior reads their artist statements.
Hi, my name is Raphael, and my artwork is about how Bob the Ghost protects me from certain things like the dark, searching for lost items, rescuing me, holding my hand from falling off a dangerous cliff, saving me from getting locked in my locker, and helping me escape from losing oxygen. The theme of my group of pieces are having to do with rescuing in places that are very unsafe and have lots of things to do with being afraid of things that could kill you and that could affect you in any way as possible. How my art captures people's attention is how detailed it is and how it makes people think about the true meaning of shading and texture that makes the body of art piece come together, where I am now using digital. I form a medium that I do is digitally, and it helps form crisp lines with a digital pencil and digital paint for the outline and the colors of my art style to make the pop out of the picture. Where I want to go after BAA is mass art because I want to learn how to make paintings with acrylic paint and learn how to animate my characters and do some quick sketches of objects and get better drawings than I go to college, so I can go to college.
My art mainly consists of depictions of worlds, characters, and stories that I created within my mind while maladaptive daydreaming. This can range from landscape paintings of scenes that do not exist to characters and clothing designs. I use mainly pencil, ink pens, and alcohol markers for my work, but I do also use watercolors and acrylics for larger and more complicated projects. The bulk of my work is character designs and story writing, so a lot of my artistic process is internal and has little to no physical manifestations. But the second part of my artistic process is the creation portion, in which I sketch and refine my ideas into visual art that can be shared. I begin all my works of art by doing an undersketch with pencil to get down the shapes and composition of my piece, planning where to put all the figures and objects to achieve a satisfactory composition is the most important step in my creation phase. After getting the undersketch done, I go in with ink pens to make the final line art of the piece and introduce more line weight and variation by using different size pens. Once that is done, I erase what's left of the pencil lines. Finally, I go in with colors, doing a base layer of flat colors and then going in to add shadows and deepen colors till I'm satisfied with the appearance. The reason I create art related to and of things from my maladaptive daydreams is because those daydreams were my only escape from life for a long time. And as I've matured and grown older, I find that the worlds I create in my mind grow more complex and developed as well. I want to be able to bring to life in a way the things that I picture so clearly in my head. I do that best by drawing, painting it, and making those things for other people to enjoy. My art is made because I want to bring life to my inner self and give people a window into the world I've kept closed off for so long.
To me, art is a collaborative effort of multiple mediums, from the creation of the canvas to the creation of the paint to the artist combining the two. Every part of creation and tool use in our lives revolves around the multitude of access to skills an individual may not wholly possess. My art is dependent on the orchestra of color and life given to it by its medium. No one thought or expression is just one thing. I have an interest in the abstract. Cute horror, animated cartoons, and stylized figures. My personal style reflects escapism and themes of dread behind the veil of cute, marketable characters. I aspire to create interactive art through digital media such as video games, websites, animations, etc. I find interest in a variety of mediums as long as it's on the computer. This includes object based code, video editing, vector art, and my personal favorite, digital illustration and, painting. I specialize in illustration and graphic design, mainly to participate in the bigger picture of what the audience sees. I enjoy experimenting with how far I'm able to go with the little I have, but I think all in one nature of technology has created a barrier that I have a very long way of going from reaching. I plan to go to college for computer science to better understand how I can properly mend technology to communicate the stories and experiences I want to tell.
4 years ago, I would have never thought I would be making this. I was just a young kid who just wanted to draw for a living. Now, I'm on the verge of graduating and one step closer to my dream of being an artist. My art has not been the same since I have attended Boston Arts Academy. It has changed for the better. With the proper help from my teachers, mentors, and my classmates, I have grown not only as an artist, but as a person as well. With that growth came an awakening. I started to notice that the world that I lived in has not been as perfect as I thought it was. There is social injustice, prejudice, and more destructively, racial and social discrimination. I wanted to address this with my most recent project. My senior project is about the image that society gives African Americans compared to how African Americans really are. I wanted to make my project about this topic because society as of late is in need of a realization of the fact that we have put different stereotypes onto the image of other human beings due to the color of their skin. Not only African Americans, but other races like Asians, Hispanic, Native American, and white Americans as well. The media that I've used for my pieces was Sharpie markers and glow-in-the-dark acrylic paint on canvas paper. I also bought a blacklight lamp so the viewer can see the glow paint better. I chose these because I wanted to show both images of African Americans on the same canvas paper. With the glow paint, I created the image of how society sees African Americans, and with the Sharpie markers, I made the image of how African Americans actually are. What I learned from the media that was used is that with the glow paint, the glow effects have to set before you use it. At first, before I bought a black light, I tested the paint to see the effects of the glow, and it wasn't working. After I bought the black light, it was much more simple from there. The paint was a little more thin, but it worked well with the canvas and the markers. My artistic plan for after BAA is to attend college so that I can hone my skills for visual arts so that when I enter the art world, I will be ready to express myself as a person. I hope to create something that everyone can enjoy to view and to have conversations about. I want to show that anyone can express themselves without being afraid of what others think of it.
My initial feelings to reflect on through art is a lively and bittersweet depiction of daydreaming, specifically having to daydream your own imagination coming to life in a realistic setting or area that contrasts against each other's art style. I wanted to simply convey a sense of exploration and curiosity about fictitious elements collaborating in an existing environment specifically composed to show a visual narrative. It makes even the most boring-looking setting feel vibrant and lively when combined with other genres. The cop car art piece is supposed to be a fabrication of car rides that I feel intrinsic to draw inspiration from, as that in this piece gives a sense of wonder and tranquility to the environment and actions it contains. Another piece I dubbed as Mirror Screens is all about the fascination or longing to be in another world or other worlds that are inspired by our media depiction, and aspiring other artists to create worlds of their own. An example of this is a visual that I made that contains a fisheye view of a cop car strolling through the woods away from a city with colorful silhouettes sitting on top, acting reckless. The setting is fictitious because it gives the imagery to be entirely interpreted or whatever comes to the viewer, where there are elements contrasting each other that each of them means something different. I have a visual to go off of is a piece where two characters are directly looking at each other through their own TV screens while their actions and settings are contrasting yet parallel. The setting overall seems grounded and looks like a mini crossover as depiction of art or a creation that is fictitious that has aspects that are borrowed from any creator's thoughts or life as a connecting bridge. I use mostly Prismacolor markers, micron pens, ink, watercolor, and other paint markers to give off a vibrant illustration style. I used it because it was what most of illustrations and comic books that I use to read create their style with, as it was a huge influence and inspiration to me towards art. I learned, however, that control is key while making full art pieces with them on only one attempt at a time. But I'm just more determined to master that as I go on after high school. After Boston Arts Academy, I want to attend a art college that will grant me a bachelor's degrees in illustration. I want to know everything that I can about making a comic book or graphic novel and prepare myself for bringing my personal projects into fruition. I wish to create art that is impactful to a wider demographic. I feel traditional art is waning as the future progresses, so I wish to be a part of its great revival.
My name is Rachel Manana. I am a Latina American born in Boston, Massachusetts. My art is comic making, but I mainly focus on illustration as an artist. I want to become an artist who can animate, create comics, and sell my art one day. I want to publish my comics and release them publicly for everyone to enjoy. What I enjoy doing outside of art is playing video games, exercising, and watching anime. When I watch anime and play video games, I feel like it gives me more inspiration for my comics, and in my art, like their storylines and their plots and their positions and poses, the art and the character design, which I love doing for art.
Community Land Trust is our way of bringing all of our homes together in a single entity, our land trust. It is like a quilt. Each of our homes is like the patch in the quilt. And we, the people who live there, get to decide what happens on this land trust because it's community controlled. We want to live in a home that we don't have to be afraid of losing, that can be affordable forever. And as we sew our pieces together, we create a safe environment that protects all of us, connects all of us. But the thing is, it's not just about our land trust. We're part of a whole network of people and organizations in Boston who are fighting for the same things. We want to make sure everyone can have good jobs, safe homes, and even wealth. We're part of a solidarity economy. That's the bigger quote. What we're doing in Boston is happening all over the country, all over the world. We're part of a movement to put land and homes in the control of the community. With the land trust, we take care of each other. We know we're going to be okay for a long, long time.
The theme for my pieces revolve around how I'm currently feeling, such as stress and the fear of huge changes. I've decided to go with this theme because it's something very personal and it's something I've been trying to deal with mainly on my own. The process of creating my pieces have been difficult since I've been trying to make something that makes sense to others. But after time on working on this, I realized that it doesn't matter as long as I'm happy with it. This is expressed in my pieces since they revolve around how stressed I've been lately due to school and college applications. First piece, I decided to show this by drawing me in a bubble that's being cracked with flowers around it. The cracks represent the stress, and the flowers are called proti, which represent growth and change. The process for this painting was really long since I didn't really know how to start it or how to show how I'm feeling. Since I don't really have much experience with paint, it also took me a while to learn some new techniques. But in the end, I'm really happy with the results. My last piece is a watercolor medium. I wanted to go with much more of a softer look, and I also wanted the proti flowers to be common for both of my pieces, since I wanted the idea of growth and change to still be there. The process for this piece was something I enjoyed since I didn't feel pressure to have it look a certain way. Overall, this is my favorite piece since it's something I took my time on and to make sure it came out how I envisioned it. In the future, I think I will continue art as a hobby since it's something I find comfort in. I also plan to try out new mediums and techniques since I want to improve my art, and I want to make my art something I'm proud of.
Didimen vez dimaj. I often have a hard time accumulating an idea, thought, or question. I find that I can express myself more clearly through the arts. I took this opportunity to explore aspects of myself as an artist, which include examining past traumas and how they have influenced the way I think about and react to the world around me. I am learning to use my past experiences to inform and inspire my artwork. Each of my 10 pieces for the gallery hold a story. The story depends on the viewer. Much like the ink block test, the interpretation is left up to the viewer. I began this journey by writing a short poem that explores a past trauma that has had an impact on my mental health. The poem goes, "What is love? A cage too small yet an annoyance. A victim. It takes one to know one. Split right down the middle. This is lush. Take a bite. I see the truth so plainly. I feel so lost in the cage, trying to break free when so hungry." My artistic related plan after BAA is to go to a great college and to get my doctorates in international financing and international business with a minor in art or design. My goal is to continue building an internationally known art and design based brand that helps raise awareness and proper support for the neurodivergent community. I want to continue building an internationally known art and design based brand that helps raise awareness for the neurodivergent community and for teens and young adults with learning disabilities and mental health to hopefully eliminate stereotypes and to help get proper supports and positive supports.
My name is Jorge Hernandez. I'm an artist, and the pictures I see in my head are the things I put on my paper. The mediums I use for my work are newspaper, magazine paper, construction paper, oil pastel, and traditional pencil and paper. I use all of these mediums together to create an art collage. The subject matter of my art pieces vary. One may be about myself, another may be about the world, or something from my imagination. The limits are endless. My art pieces tend to be more abstract. My creations are influenced by my imagination. I've always liked the idea of abstract art. It speaks to me and truly shapes the person I am today. The things I'd like to achieve in my art is creativity, something that has never been seen before, and something that shows my art was created by me. Through my art, I want people to see that I follow my imagination wherever it takes me. Ever since freshman year of high school, my interest in the arts have been growing, and I would like to have the arts with me after high school in some way.
Creating these pieces was definitely a trial and error process. Many mock-ups of many concepts over a period of time, but that process only helped me realize what I wanted to showcase within this lineup. When it comes to my pieces, I wanted to add a visualizer to a feeling. This feeling is depression. I chose depression due to the fact that I have many friends who suffer from it. I myself do not have this illness, but I figured I would try to understand it by creating a representation of it on a spectrum I could understand, based on the unique descriptions given to me by my friends. They have chosen to stay anonymous, which I actually liked. It just adds that questioning aspect to my pieces. I chose to work in a digital medium because I feel like I can create smoother and accurate pieces as well as effects I wouldn't normally be able to make with traditional media. I really like the idea of a rendered or intricate piece in a simplistic format, which explains the setup of the artworks and the article illustrations with a monochromatic aspect. With the first artwork that I did, I wanted to work with the typical colors of depression, which is seen as grays, blues, and blacks. I also wanted the figure to look a little strange to create the humanoid but not fully human aspect to it and give the piece a slightly eerie feeling. The quote within the work describes depression as a whole, a feeling of hopelessness. I wanted to create a figure within a position that showed all of its feelings of hope being drained out of this void or hole within its face. Faces are a symbol of identity, yet this feeling of hopelessness has taken over that aspect of identity for this figure. When it comes to my second piece, I decided to create a slightly monochromatic artwork using different tones of red. Red is a color that is associated with stop or a feeling of being stuck in one position. Within the quote, depression is described as a closed door all the time, absolutely nowhere to go. The figure is constantly stuck in that door, that one position with an overgrown feeling of doubt, hence the overgrown plants. I really did enjoy making these pieces. It was intriguing to jump into the minds of my friends to visualize their hurt or numbness. Although I'm not going into the artistic fields after BAA, I would still love to do it as a hobby and explore the different artistic worlds as well as create more expressive bodies of work in the future.
Thank you for your attention. On behalf of the entire VAD department, to the seniors we send our love, admiration, and deep appreciation. Good luck to you in the future as you join the long list of BAA graduates. You will always have a home here. VA for life.
Not yet. Not yet. Go.
Thank you so much for joining us today. The work was phenomenal. Special thanks to the families, teachers, and staff who support and mentor our students. Please join us again tomorrow at 2:45 when we share the work from our senior theater artists. We also encourage you to join us June 7th through 11th for our virtual symposium, showcasing the work of our students in grades 9 through 11th. Details will be posted on our bulletin and on our website soon. Have a great day. BA for life, period.